Okay, this is a sample of the exercise that I want you to do before starting this lesson. I'm including a small drawing, line drawing of this one tulip, and I want you to start out with this, and I'd like for you to go ahead and put it on, maybe the back of a I'm sorry, I cannot speak this morning, think about what I want to speak, but say the back of a palette pad, something like that. You can just base coat that and seal it and just use that, so you don't have to use up any good canvas board or anything, and don't do it on watercolor paper because that's too rough, because we need the smoothness for this exercise. So I would want you to trace this out, and I want you to trace it out 4 times the way it is on this board. So then you would start with this one, and you leave this one as it is so that you can see where you started from. Then the next thing to do is to put in your shadows around the inside of the nook. Put in your values in burnt umber. No, this is raw umber. In raw umber in your, let's see, yeah, it's burnt umber. Okay, my fault. Put this in burnt umber, and do this so that you know what your tulip is going to look like. You see, we have really dark parts here and here, and we have lighter areas here where we want it to round out. Okay, and I'm also going to take a picture of this and include it with your lesson. Then next, on this third area, is where we put in the gray values. This is the dead layer. So we see we've got some medium or medium to dark gray covering up these areas, the nook areas. And so look, in this leaf we have a darker part behind the stem, and a little lighter, a little darker behind the blossom, and a little lighter as we turn, and then darker again. And we're establishing our lights and darks, and you can see where this tulip is going. And then for the last quarter of this board, then we haven't done a whole lot with this here. Maybe put a little bit of a glaze of the burnt umber back on it, but we've glazed in our color values on the leaf and stem, and most especially on the tulip. And then we've also put in some of the streaks, but these are very, very transparent glazes. But what this is a little bit of an exercise so that you're familiar with the steps that you're going to go through on this lesson, D-10, because you're going to put in the umbers, then you're going to put on the dead layer, and then you're going to glaze your color. So this is a practice board, and I want you to have fun with this and relax with this, because this is where you get familiar with what's going on, and then you take what you've done here and put it on your lesson, your surface, so that you have your practice here where you can just relax and play with it, wipe it off, start it over if you need to, and then go to your regular surface for your lesson.